Hey, I'm Todd, Burt, Lancaster. I've been told I have the most boring call sign in Afterburner, but that's beside the point. So I was a jet pilot, then an MH-53 special operations pilot, and finally an Mi-17 pilot in Afghanistan throughout my Air Force career. And I'm a current speaker and facilitator with Afterburner. So my career path to becoming a pilot is kind of non-standard. I did not have a pilot qualification at the Air Force Academy, and I really wanted to fly helicopters, but I couldn't apply for helicopter school. So I'm a guy who actually had to go fly jets, and I did that for 5 years, flew jets as an instructor pilot before I finally had an opportunity to volunteer to go over to special operations helicopter. And I always say that was the best mistake I ever made, because that just kept me inside the Air Force for 22 years. Helicopter pilot, the favorite part, I can go backwards, I can go sideways, and we can stop to go to the bathroom anytime we want to. Hardest part about being, I will say, a special operations helicopter pilot was, even though we had at the time the most advanced helicopter in the world, the machine was secondary to the men that we were working for, from the crews all the way down to the teams, as well as all the agencies that came to support. So really that amount of coordination was absolutely incredible, but also the most difficult thing of planning special operations missions. Yeah, so much like my time in the military as an officer and a commander, I've always really appreciated the constant growth from me and my peers as we started to understand more and more about what it takes to be a good leader. And so when I got out of the Air Force and got into education and consulting, I really enjoy that Lightbulb moment when people are like, oh my gosh, that's just an amazing concept, amazing idea, thank you so much. That's where I really start to appreciate being a coach and consultant. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. I really wanted to become a Navy SEAL, but instead I decided to go to the Air Force Academy because it was close to skiing and it was free. So once I got to the Air Force Academy, as I mentioned before, I didn't have a pilot qualification, but we had a unique opportunity to take the SEAL test and apply for the SEALs, which I passed the test, but then I chose later to go to pilot training once I got my pilot qualification. So I always say my life is a series of really good mistakes, and that was one of them. I absolutely enjoyed my 22-year flying career in the Air Force. So it's kind of interesting, being special operations, I went to over 70 countries, 3 of them uninvited. The coolest place though is I had a great opportunity to go to Ukraine to learn how to fly Russian helicopters from ex-Soviet pilots. And then I was in Afghanistan for a year as the first commanding officer flying with the Afghans in combat in Mi-17s. Funniest call sign is one I can't describe. This also is going to be a little bit non-traditional because no one's going to know this movie, 1970s, Albert Finney, Tom Jones. So unlike fighters, we in special operations actually had the ability to have a soundtrack playing while we were flying. So we always appreciated AC/DC Thunderstruck.